On TikTok, there's a hashtag, #ToxicFamily. Billions of views, videos of people celebrating going no contact with their parents, comments saying, "So proud of you. Your peace comes first. You don't owe anyone anything." According to research in recent years, about 1 in 4 American adults is estranged from a close relative. And after the 2024 election, surveys found that 1 in 5 of those estrangements were triggered by political disagreements, many of them within just the past year. And I keep thinking about a story I grew up with, a story that took almost 1,000 years to write, which I realize is a very Chinese response to modern problems. You're stressed about your family? Here, let me tell you a 1,000-year-old story about a monkey, but bear with me. In 627 AD, a real monk walked from China to India to fetch sacred scriptures. It took him 17 years, alone, across deserts and mountains. Over the next millennium, through the Tang, Song, Yuan, and Ming dynasties, storytellers, playwrights, and finally one novelist transformed his journey into an epic. It's called Journey to the West. In China, it's our Star Wars, our Lord of the Rings. Everyone knows it. Kids dress up as the Monkey King. There are over 100 TV adaptations. And there's one episode about a son who was right, a father who was wrong, and what happens when the father says, "I never want to see you again." It doesn't end with a clean break. It ends somewhere else entirely. So, here's the setup. There's this monk, Tang Sanzang. He's heading west to fetch sacred scriptures from India, a journey that will take him 14 years, across deserts and demon-infested mountains. He's kind, devout, and completely useless in a fight. And there's this monkey, Sun Wukong. He once waged war against heaven itself, alone. He fought 100,000 celestial soldiers to a standstill. The Buddha himself had to trap him under a mountain for 500 years. Now he's bound to protect the monk. There's a golden band on his head. If the monk chants a certain spell, it tightens until the pain is unbearable. They don't always get along. One day, they're crossing a mountain called White Tiger Ridge. The monk is hungry. He sends the monkey to find food. While the monkey is gone, a demon appears. She's called the White Bone Demon, Bai Gujing. She's been waiting for this moment. She knows that eating the monk's flesh will grant immortality, but she can't just attack. The monk has 2 other disciples guarding him, so she transforms into a beautiful young village girl carrying food. She approaches the monk. "Holy Father, are you hungry? I've brought rice and vegetables." The monk is touched. The pig disciple, his name is Zhu Bajie, which literally means pig of 8 prohibitions. He breaks all 8 of them regularly. Right now he's drooling, but then the monkey comes back. He has Huoyan Jinjing, fiery eyes and golden gaze. During his 500 years under the mountain, he gained the ability to see through all illusions. He looks at the girl. He doesn't see beauty. He sees a skeleton wrapped in human skin, a demon wearing a mask. Without hesitation, he swings his iron staff and kills her. The monk is horrified. "What have you done?" the monk cries. "She was an innocent girl, a farmer's daughter." The monkey tries to explain. "Master, look at what she was carrying. That's not rice. That's a pot of maggots. That's not vegetables. Those are frogs." The monk looks. It's true. But the pig disciple whispers in the monk's ear, "Don't believe him, master. He's just using magic tricks to fool you." Every family has that one relative who makes everything worse. The pig is that relative. And the monk has Ru Yan Fan Tai, mortal eyes, ordinary flesh. He cannot see demons. He can only see what appears to be true. He believes the pig. He begins to chant the spell. The golden band tightens around the monkey's head. The pain is excruciating. The monkey falls to his knees. "Master, please stop. I'm telling the truth." The demon isn't dead. She transforms again into an old woman crying for her lost daughter. The monkey sees through her instantly. He kills her again. The monk chants the spell 20 times this time. The monkey writhes on the ground. Please stop. I'm telling the truth." But the pig keeps whispering, "He's lying, master." The demon tries one last time. She transforms into an old man, the father of the dead girl. The monkey hesitates. He thinks, if I kill this demon, my master will banish me. If I don't kill it, it will eat my master the moment I'm gone. He makes his choice. He calls on the local mountain spirits to witness. Then he swings his staff and kills the old man. This time, the demon truly dies. Her body transforms into a pile of white bones with the words, Lady Whitebone, carved into the spine. The monk sees the bones, but the pig says, Master, he's tricking you again. He made those words appear with magic. He killed 3 innocent people today. And the monk believes the pig. The monk gets off his horse. He asks for paper and ink. He writes a letter of banishment. In it, he swears, if I ever see you again, may I fall into the deepest hell. The monkey begs, Master, I saved your life 3 times. How can you do this? The monk won't look at him. The monkey says, at least let me bow to you before I go. The monk turns away. So the monkey pulls out 3 hairs from his own head, transforms them into 3 copies of himself. 4 monkeys surround the monk, bow to him from all sides, because the monk kept turning away, and the monkey was determined to say goodbye properly. The monk says, I'm a good monk. I won't speak the name of a bad person. The monkey flies away. Halfway home, he passes over the Eastern Ocean. He hears the waves. He stops in midair, looks back toward the west, and for the first time, the Monkey King, who once fought 100,000 celestial soldiers, cries. If this were an American story, it might end here. The monkey goes home, finds inner peace, maybe writes a memoir about toxic relationships. But this is a Chinese story, and Chinese stories don't believe in clean breaks. Here's what happens next. The monkey goes home to his mountain. He's free. He's king again. He has thousands of monkey soldiers. He doesn't need the monk. Meanwhile, the monk continues west. Within days, he's captured by another demon, a much worse one. The pig and the sand disciple try to save him. They fail. The pig has to go beg the monkey for help. Think about that for a second. The pig got the monkey fired. He whispered lies into the boss's ear. And now, he has to show up at the monkey's door and ask for help. Imagine getting laid off because HR believed your coworker's lies. And then that coworker shows up at your house asking you to save the company. He finds the monkey sitting on a cliff. The pig lies. Brother, master misses you. He sent me to bring you back. The monkey knows it's a lie. He says, he wrote a letter banishing me. He swore he'd rather go to hell than see me again. Why would he miss me? The pig tries another approach. He mentions, almost casually, that the demon was trash-talking the monkey. He said you're a washed-up has-been. He said he'd skin you alive and eat your heart. That gets the monkey's attention. But here's the part that gets me every time. Before leaving to save his master, the monkey dives into the ocean. He washes himself. The pig asks, what are you doing? We're in a hurry. The monkey says, after staying home all these days, I've picked up a bad smell. Master likes cleanliness. I don't want to offend him. This is the same master who called him a murderer, who wrote him a banishment letter, who swore to go to hell rather than see him again. And the monkey's first thought is, I should smell nice for him. There's a line in the original text that I've never forgotten. Lao Sun Shen Hui Shui Lian Dong, Xin Zhu Qu Jing Seng. My body returned to the water curtain cave. My heart never left the scripture-seeking monk. Let me tell you about a story that's become all too common in America. A retired police officer, his name was never released, but his story appeared in media coverage after the 2024 election. He voted for Trump 3 times. He never hid it from his family. His son and daughter-in-law told him, since you're a fan of Trump, we're no fan of yours. They cut him off, changed their phone numbers. Now he can't see his only grandchild. He said, it's crazy, it's tragic, we were so close. I keep thinking about that grandfather. I imagine he used to take his grandkid fishing. I imagine he taught the kid how to tie a hook, how to be patient, how to wait for the right moment. Now he doesn't even know what grade the kid is in. And I imagine, maybe I'm wrong, but I imagine, he still checks his son's social media sometimes, from a distance, just to see photos of the grandchild growing up. That's not a monster. That's not a narcissist. That's just a grandfather. And I understand the son too. I really do. When you're young and you believe something deeply, that certain politics are not just wrong, but harmful, It feels impossible to sit across the dinner table from someone who voted for that harm. It feels like betrayal. It feels like, how can you love me and vote for people who want to hurt people like me? I get it. The son isn't evil. He's in pain too. I read these stories, and I thought about Tang Sanzang. The son sees something the father can't see. To the son, a vote isn't just a vote. It's a demon in disguise. To the father, it's just politics. They're looking at the same thing. They're seeing completely different realities. In Chinese, we call this Ru Yan Fan Tai, mortal eyes, ordinary flesh. It's not an insult. It's a description. We all have blind spots. We all have limits to what we can perceive. The monk couldn't see demons. The father can't see what his vote means to his son. The son can't see what cutting off his father will cost them both. Here's what's interesting to me. On TikTok, under #ToxicFamily, there are billions of views. Videos of young people celebrating going no contact, using words like narcissist, toxic, emotionally immature. And I'm not here to say that's always wrong. I mean, I'm a guy on YouTube telling you about a monkey. Who am I to judge? Sometimes cutting off is necessary, sometimes abuse is real. But I noticed something. In these videos, the person who leaves is always the hero. The story always ends at the moment of departure. The Chinese story doesn't end there. In the Chinese story, the monkey leaves. He's justified, he was wronged, and then he comes back. Not because the monk apologized, not because justice was served. He just came back. And I keep wondering, why? There's a writer I like, David Brooks. He talks about the difference between a contract and a covenant. A contract is a transaction. It's based on interests. If you do this for me, I'll do that for you. The moment it stops being beneficial, you walk away. A covenant is different. It's not about interests. It's about identity. It's permanent. It's unconditional. Marriage vows are covenants, in sickness and in health, for richer or poorer. And I think a lot of modern relationships have become contracts. I'll stay as long as you make me happy. I'll love you as long as you don't disappoint me. I'll call you family as long as you vote the way I do. The moment the other person fails the terms of the contract, it's over. Clean break. And the Chinese story asks, what if the monkey had thought that way? What if, when he heard his master was captured, he said, well, he broke the contract. He called me a murderer. He wrote me a banishment letter. I owe him nothing. He would have been right. Legally, morally, contractually, he owed the monk nothing. But he didn't think that way. He thought, Yi ri wei shi, chong shen wei fu. One day as teacher, a lifetime as father. That's not a contract. That's a covenant. I'm not saying Western kids are wrong to protect themselves. And I'm definitely not saying you should stay in abusive relationships. But I'm curious, before you diagnose someone as a demon, are you sure you have the eyes to see clearly? Before you write the banishment letter, do you know what you're giving up? And after you've been wronged, really, truly wronged, is I owe you nothing the only possible response? I keep coming back to that image, the monkey diving into the ocean before going to save his master. He's about to risk his life for someone who called him a murderer, someone who wrote him a banishment letter, and his first thought is, I should smell nice for him. That's not rational. That's not self-protective. By any modern standard, it's probably unhealthy. But there's something in that image I can't shake. Maybe it's foolish. Maybe it's beautiful. Maybe it's both. I don't know what you call it in English. There isn't really a word. In Chinese, we call it qing. It means something like the bond that remains even when reason says it shouldn't. The part of you that still cares, even when caring costs you something. It's not logical. It's not strategic. It's just human. This story took almost 1,000 years to write. A real monk's journey in 627 AD became a legend. Storytellers added the monkey, playwrights added demons. And finally, in the 1580s, one novelist wove it all together. 4 dynasties, nearly a millennium, and in the end, the monkey becomes a Buddha. Not because he was always right, not because he was always kind, but because he kept walking. Through the desert, through the mountains, through the misunderstandings and the banishments and the pain. He kept walking. I'm not sure what that means for you. Maybe nothing. But if you're thinking about cutting someone off, or if you already have, maybe it's worth asking, is this a contract or a covenant? And which one do I want it to be? I'm Yang. Thanks for listening. If this gave you something to think about, leave a comment. I'm curious what you see.